It was the moment the world learned of the death of the Queen. BBC reporter Huw Edwards had to compose himself, live on air, as he announced the shock news at 6:30 p.m. local time.Normal broadcast was interrupted by the breaking news with Edwards reading the official statement from Buckingham Palace. Catch all of your favorite shows on Channel 7 or stream free on 7plus. Watch the video above. The moment the Queen's death was announced live on air a few moments ago, Buckingham Palace announced the death of Queen Elizabeth II, Edwards announced before solemnly glancing down at the statement. Palace has just issued this statement. It says the Queen died peacefully at Balmoral this afternoon. The King and the Queen Consort will remain at Balmoral this evening and will return to London tomorrow. Taking a moment to compose himself, the popular anchor repeated the devastating news. Within the past few minutes, Buckingham Palace has announced the death of Her Majesty Queen Elizabeth II, he said. Pursing his lips and pausing, Edwards took a moment to gather his thoughts and reiterated the statement in full. Half-mast earlier, Edwards had worn a black suit, tie and crisp white shirt to announce that doctors had advised the Queen remain under medical supervision. It was a sign, many thought, that suggested Her Majesty's death was imminent. After reporting on the Queen's condition and confirming she was under medical supervision, the BBC began showing a montage of the monarch. A collage of both stills and videos swept across the screen, highlighting Her Majesty's 70-year reign. The program was then interrupted by a black screen before Edwards appeared and confirmed the Queen's passing. After reading the official statement, a picture of a young Queen Elizabeth II was beamed to viewers as the national anthem, God Save the Queen, played. Watching at home, many viewers noted Edwards' sorrow and praised his professionalism during the broadcast. Respect to Huw Edwards at News. That must have been so desperately difficult to announce, even though they were expecting it. May she rest in peace. So very sad, one viewer tweeted Huw Edwards BBC News clearly with tears in his eyes, announcing it. Very sad, another wrote. The world grieves. Sunrise spoke to Daily Mirror royal editor, Russell Myers, who also reiterated the sadness felt across the UK. Similarly, donning a black suit, tie a shirt, Myers confirmed supporters of the royal family are continuing to gather outside multiple royal residences with flowers and letters. This is something that I don't think we would have seen for many years, he said. Certainly when Princess Diana died I remember the scenes that came over the next few days, but this is an outpouring of emotion across the world that I don't think we have ever seen before. And that gives you an indication of what sort of person the Queen was, how many lives she touched. We are talking millions and millions of people who have flocked to social media or news websites across the world to really get a sense of this tremendous occasion. And I think the scenes you are seeing outside Buckingham Palace and Windsor Castle and at Balmoral will just multiply and multiply as the days go on. They never thought would happen, even though the Queen was in such a later years, 96, and had been in ill health recently. The Queen was like an aura, like a person that was always present, and I think the world looks very different today. Myers explained that time has stopped still in London, explaining the iconic Road Junction Piccadilly Circus and the black cabs took a moment to pay their respects to the fallen royal. People in London hugging strangers, he added. Last public photo. Myers commented on the last images of the Queen meeting the new Prime Minister Liz Truss, taken just a few days before her death. How beautiful that these pictures show her smiling. It shows an awful lot of the woman, perhaps her final legacy, Myers said. With the Queen's smile taking center stage, her walking stick was also a clear sign of the aging grandmother. Her mobility issues had been increasing unfortunately in recent weeks and stopped her ability to get out as much, Myers said. Absolutely determined that she would welcome Miss Truss as her 15th Prime Minister, and she had a packed schedule that day. And people. I have spoken to people who saw her that Tuesday and said that she was still bright-eyed, she was still smiling, getting on with the job. Sadly, it's a scene that did take an awful lot out of her and has led us to this tremendously sad day. A poster of the Queen reading, Her Majesty the Queen, 1926 to 2022 then appeared across Sunrise viewers' screens, with Kochi explaining the images now appearing on bus stops around London. Isn't that beautiful, Kochi said. 70 years on the throne, never to be repeated, I'm sure, and the lives she has touched in unquantifiable at this stage, Myers agreed. Operation Unicorn, with the official royal mourning period lasting a month and national mourning lasting a week, Myers explained the plan for the Queen's death has been in place for some time. Classified as Operation London Bridge, the lengthy plan outlined what would occur if Her Majesty passed in London. However, the Queen spent her final moment in Scotland, meaning Operation Unicorn has been deployed. Of course, we don't know the specific details because the announcement came so late at 6:30, just after 6:30 in the UK, Myers said. D-Day essentially is tomorrow. I imagine we will find out an awful lot more plans on how long the Queen will stay in Scotland and when she will return to London. We do know that King Charles III will return now to London with the Duchess of Cornwall tomorrow. There are an awful lot of moving parts, and I imagine that members of the royal family want to pay their own silent, respectful tributes over the next 24 hours, and we will get a much bigger indication of what is going to happen. And finally, thank you all for watching the video. Please like and comment your opinion so we can discuss together. Don't forget to subscribe, press the bell to follow and update many other interesting news. See you in the next videos. Goodbye.